Hello everybody, welcome back with some more God of War. And I completely forgot how to play this game again. It's been quite a while. For some reason I keep thinking there's a camera control button, but no, it's not. So, last episode we took down Helios, and now we are going to face off with the next god on our list, which we'll find out shortly whenever Kratos gets to that point. That's the big plan, which I don't think there was anybody... Off the top of my head, I don't exactly remember who we go after. Oh, it's been a long time. Yeah, but we're at least, I would say, I don't know, 1/3 of the way through the game? Maybe close to halfway through at least. For those that are interested in wondering, like, when this game will end, that way they can go watch something else. So, there's that for you. I'm not exactly 100% sure, but I can assure you that we are getting rather somewhat close to the halfway mark, if not at least at the halfway mark. But then again, knowing me, well, I tend to, how do you put it, fuck up whenever I try to think of anything that revolves around, like, timing, because I'm not really that good at timing stuff. One way that I always am able to tell exactly where I'm at, specifically in terms of, like, oh shit, oh no, it's gonna be one of those. It's Chains of Olympus all over again, isn't it? I have more feathers than I do Gorgon eyes. Shit. Well, anyway. One way that gives me a good idea of telling is looking at my health bar. Like, once it hits full, we're at least in, like, the last third or fourth of the game. For sure, like, no doubt. But right now, we at least have, I'd say, probably half of it done, possibly. I'm not really sure. But yeah, off topic, and just trying to talk about other things. There's a few things I want to get out of the way now. Batman Ninja has finally came out on Blu-ray and DVD, so if you're interested in that, go pick it up. It's basically a Japanese-made animation of Batman literally being a fucking, like, ninja, and, like, with a sword, a samurai sword and everything, which, no, not really a samurai sword, I don't know what he's got. More likely like a ninja sword, because it is called Batman Ninja, but he almost looks like, there's some characters that look like they're samurai, so there's that difference. But yeah, I picked it up today, and I was like, I gotta fucking grab it. And another note about God of War, currently I'm still playing through, of course, the newest one. I have now finished all treasure maps, found every bird. I have collected every... This was like a while ago, too. Yesterday I collected all the other birds and everything. I'm still missing some stuff in, like, other realms, like 2 other realms, but that's about it. Nothing really too big. I'm working on the Valkyries right now, almost done with them. And, yeah, I have basically full health and full rage upgraded. So that's been done for quite a bit of time, though. I've been, of course, alongside looking at Power Picks guide videos to show me where everything's at, because I'm a lazy piece of shit that doesn't like to look around. Oh, so Fortnite updated. Alright, cool. Yeah, I keep forgetting to turn that off. It's one thing I don't really ever do, because, like, I just now got myself a new PS4. This was like a while back, like months ago, or maybe like last month, whenever it was. No, it was last month. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, basically when God of War was coming out, I got a new PS4, just for the sake of having a new one, because my old one wasn't really like bad or anything. I just got tired of having 500 gigs of only space. I mean, granted, I know about external hard drives, and trust me, I've tried multiple times with my old PS4, and it just does not work with me. That, I'm just, you know, completely retarded, so there's that. But I just wanted a bigger, like, you know, terabyte PS4, so I can at least have the feeling of having 2 PS4s at once. And I gave my old PS4 to my parents so they can play God of War, so it worked out. Don't worry, guys, I could afford it. I can afford most of what I'm doing. I'm very, I tend to be very cautious with my money, but there are times where I just go on a spending spree, which has been going on recently, and I told myself today I need to stop and just slow down a bit and just, you know, recollect myself, because things are getting a little hairy. Because first of all, I don't have to work this week, and the weird thing is I keep waking up, especially like in the middle of the night, freaking out, thinking like I have to go to work that day, like I missed work. And even though we were told we don't have to, it just came out of nowhere, and you know, I don't exactly have a piece of paper on me to say, hey, there was a piece of paper that came out, but I don't actually have direct access to one, so I don't have that, sheet that tells me, hey, you guys are off, so. Oh, looks like, yeah, that got upgraded. So I don't know why my Phoenix Feathers my magic's higher than my health, but, oh well. I guess I must have missed a chest somewhere. It could have happened. I wouldn't be surprised, because if I don't have full health now, then yeah, that's probably why. Full health isn't like upgraded health. To the point of where my magic got upgraded to. But yeah, like, I do have this week off. I've been trying to get things done via, like, me and David's game, and then also trying to work on, videos and stuff like that, especially for my second channel, too. So that's been going on, and just today, it was my stepmother's birthday yesterday, so I decided to take her out to dinner today, or lunch or whatever, and we went out for a bit. I left around, I'd say, like, 12, and now I got back home around, like, 3:30 or so. So, yeah, I was out there for quite a bit of time, which, again, takes up time of my day, so I can't just do everything every day, and everything just is, great and dandy, right? No. And, of course, I had a wedding to go to on Sunday, so there was that. And I got sunburnt to shit. Yeah, I know, right? Me going outside. Isn't that weird? That never happens. And it never should. Again. Yeah, I know. Just, things have just been great, I guess. And, of course, I've been sleeping in till, like, 12 in the afternoon. 11 to 12. Because I'm just a lazy piece of shit that doesn't want to get up in the morning. Like, at all. Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. And then I have plans, not this weekend exactly. Well, there were plans for this weekend, but then they got changed. So sometime or another, I gotta go to one of my uncle's friend's house and hang out with him and my uncle for a bit, and his wife. My uncle's wife, which is basically my aunt now, and I considered her an aunt before they got married, but, that's what the wedding was for, was my aunt and uncle. So, they've been together for like 5 years, just like you basically are an aunt. I mean, I'm very nice when it comes to, like, inviting people into, like, a family, no matter their sexual orientation and or religion, It's like, if you're just a good person, it's like, whatever. I mean, because, my stepbrother and his girlfriend, they're not married, but I still consider her at least like a sister-in-law, close to it, at least a sister in some way, shape, or form. And that's mainly because I'm just like that. I'm a very family-oriented kind of person. Like, I just enjoy having family, I guess. Essentially, that's what I'm trying to say. I can be a nice person, but I can also be a complete piece of shit. And if people just annoy the hell out of me day in and day out, then more than likely I'm just gonna, like, let them out, like, you gotta stop. And of course I also have that tendency to not even warn people either, like, hey, you're done, but that's just me. It's funny enough, like my stepmother said today, is, she's the kind of person that runs away from it, and it's like, yeah, I kinda am too. It's just, I don't want to get involved with any drama or anything like that, so I just kinda keep to myself, and if somebody pisses me off, well, I deal with them pretty much secretly, just, trying not to be an asshole and cause too many bad feelings, but, they also telling people how you feel is a good idea as well, but, knowing me, that's not exactly how I am. I tend to try to keep to myself and just shut the hell up about things, but I can be pretty vocal, especially on, like, these videos, but I try to be respectful of those that I do not like, and even if I don't like somebody, it's like I still try to keep their name out of the video. That way nobody, goes to find them or something and then just harass them because they don't deserve it. There's no reason to. So yeah, like I said, I am an asshole, but, so things are. It's funny when people are like, oh man, you're not an asshole, you're a cool guy. It's like, well, yeah, I can be cool, but like I said, if need be, I can be a piece of shit, so that happens. I mean, I do feel bad sometimes, but, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Okay, so anyway, back on topic here. What you need to do is you need to line all of these up to make a complete sword. And then the statues will go ahead and grab onto the handles there, and they'll start turning it once we get to the bottom of the ground there. And this is a very obscure button system thingy. It's cool that it's the PlayStation buttons because they want you to know what buttons to press. But in terms of like the game and the lore and all that, did PlayStation exist before? Like back in like ancient Greece and all that? Like, is that what's going on here? Possibly. So anyway, next up we have to do is do a rhythm game, which is one of the first, if not the only, rhythm game ever inside of a God of War game. As far as I know, it's only one. But essentially, you're playing you're playing the main like theme song, which I can't really hear it right now, but I have a good idea what it is in my head. But I forget the name of it too. Well, anyway, it's essentially a God of War song, if you couldn't tell. So, and don't worry about the double buttons because they're always the same. It's either square X or triangle and circle. You don't have to worry about triple buttons here and there. You don't have to worry about any of that. You don't have to worry about anything messing you up. Just follow the pattern. It's pretty slow. I said short. It's pretty slow for the most part, so you don't have to worry about going through it, too quickly. But yeah, that's that for that. All right, next up we have to go to the flame and then turn it out and then essentially unleash it practically. But the only way to get down there is via the elevator. So here we go. Yeah, speaking of my second channel, I recorded a few videos yesterday of Bioshock Infinite, and I got to a part where I just kept dying, and I got pissed. And I was doing commentary for the video of like an older part of the video, and I just said, this is fucking annoying. Like, I'm hating this game right now, With Bioshock, I mean, I'm just getting tired of Infinite. So, we don't have, back to the game, we don't have any weapons to take out these guys just yet. But there is something we can do. Magic probably will more likely not work, so don't worry about that. Essentially, what we need to do is you can either try to get the Gorgon into an execution attack, or die. Get her into an execution attack to where you can pretty much, rip her head off and then do the whole stone the enemies with her head, and bust them up like that, or let her do it. Or you could also parry the gaze, the Gorgon gaze, and then knock it back. So that's essentially what the game wants you to do. But yeah, I just want to take a moment real fast. I know I've done it plenty of times, but Kratos' design, like in God of War 3, is really fucking good. Like, I know it's God of War 2 design, but, more graphically different and just more realistic looking, along with, different, like, effects on it that make it look kind of nice, of course. But I mean, then there's also, the Blaze of Exile, but I just love his design in this game. I think this game still looks good, in my opinion. In my opinion, it still looks good and it still holds up to this day. Well, yeah, you're good looking at the new God of War, which, yeah, the new God of War looks nice and all, but I don't know. I'm not saying like I'm not a big fan of it. I like the game. Oh, shit, I meant to do that, but I didn't really mean to. I wasn't hoping that, the one hit was just going to kill her off. Because that's the thing, too. Like, I'm not sure if stoned enemies, like, if the timing it takes to break them is based on their health or not. Because that would be an interesting thing to take in consideration, though. Is whether or not, they exist only to... Oh, you fucking prick. Okay, yeah. I'm getting hit a lot. For a guy who claims that he's good at God of War, I'm not really doing that good at God of War, am I? Come here, you son of a bitch. I'll meow. And last but not least... Done. There you go. Alright, kill these assholes, and then you're good to go. You could just do a nice, good one triangle slam, and they're gone. If you're playing on the harder difficulties, it's going to take you a little bit longer to kill them off, of course. Because I think that the time it takes to break them, to crumble them, it actually is based on health. Or I'm starting to believe that. To me, that made the most sense. Okay, so now we're back out here. If you guys remember this lovely place, but this time it's got stairs going up instead. Which actually, hold on. Is this floor? No, that's the okay, yeah, we were just there on the second floor. I always get that mixed up, honestly, is getting mixed up whether or not which floor is which. And then we have to take a little bit of time here and just go ahead and turn this thing around, which there will be a cutscene that will play eventually soon, so it will pretty much, take you out of it. For those that are going to get bored, of moving this thing, it will eventually kick in and... Okay, maybe not. At least I thought it did. Oh, because the chain is stuck, I guess. Oh. There we go. That's why. Because of the judge's chain, yes. Okay, so that's later on there's a cutscene that plays, so my bad, my mistake. Oh, yeah, I know. But moving that opens this door, which, in terms of a game mechanic, like game design, I guess it makes sense. Because, that's the next area to go to. They want to make you play the game, have opportunities to play it a little longer and, get awards and stuff. But from a perspective like the actual, like, in-game universe, like, why are we making me go through all that shit, It's one of those things, but it's God of War, so it's like, who cares? Let it pass. God of War's always been like that. The same thing goes with, like, Tomb Raider. Like, yeah, it can be weird at times, but that's just how things are, right? You gotta make the game a game. That's what I'm saying. Like, some people just nowadays, especially nowadays, and especially, like, the newer generation of gamers, quote-unquote. Not really gamers, but... yeah, there's some out there that are new generation that are gamers. And then there's some that I like to call filthy casuals that take every single game basically for granted and just... they look at the game as a product of, it should and always be the best looking and just have a multiplayer and just all that shit that new games nowadays do. Basically be, the Call of Duty or Destiny 2 games. Like, for a while, I remember for a long time, like, especially around the Call of Duty era, when Call of Duty really started picking up, everybody wanted to basically be the new Call of Duty. They wanted to have that shooter game that essentially made them a lot of money.
Bravo! Bravo! Our hero has arrived. Applause for another bastard child of Zeus. Just in time for the final act.
Hera.
You look terrible, dear. Still wanting to kill my husband, I suppose?
You know I seek revenge on Zeus.
Can't say that I blame you. Since you killed my son Ares, fear of you consumes him.
His fears will not matter. He is dead.
I'll drink to that.
Hera, I seek the child, Pandora.
Pandora? That wretched little thing my son Hephaestus created? Well, we can't have you do that, my dear. Destroy him.
Hello, brother.
This is not between us, Hercules.
Isn't it? You were always Zeus's favorite.
The air on Olympus affects your thinking. Zeus has no favorites.
Think about it, brother. While I was stuck cleaning the Augean stables, he chose you to destroy Ares. Well, not convinced. How about this? While you were being crowned the god of war, I was sent to find an apple. They called them labors. Ha! Perhaps he did allow me to kill the Nemean lion, but he made your name known amongst the people. A fierce warrior, a killer made hero, a man made a god. But this time, brother, this time I will destroy you. Call it my 13th and final labor. Soon I will become the god of war and claim the throne for myself.
You aspire to be an Olympian, yet their reign is in you.
We'll see about that.
Okay, so now we're in our next boss fight, and we have to go take down Hercules. And there's also Hera up there, who pretty much is technically Kratos' stepmother, but... No? Stepmother? Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I guess so, maybe. Possibly. I'm getting my things mixed up here. Yeah, I'd be a stepmother. But yeah, she's just the goddess of wine, I think, or something like that. She's always drunk in this game, so we'll have our fun time with her later on. But for right now, we have to take out these assholes, and of course, eventually get into the Hercules fight, which is personally one of my personal favorite fights. I do like Hercules in this game. It is kind of sad that he does kind of come and go, as in, you know, game-wise. We did see him in the beginning of the game, of course, but he wasn't really much there, just commanding a legion of army of, you know, the undead, pretty much. So as far as I know, isn't Hercules... Yeah, he's a son of Zeus, duh. And Hera, so he's basically a demigod. If I'm not mistaken. Or he would be a god, technically. Well, yeah, see, I'm stupid sometimes, so I believe he's still somewhat mortal, but no, he's not. Ah, fuck it, who cares? So regardless, this thing, what do you want to call it, this combat arena here has a few things that are going to be constant here. You have the, what do you call that? Damn it. What do you call that stuff, bro? There's some kind of level in Donkey Kong Country 2, I remember that was based around Bramble. That's what I think it's called. And you get all this, you know, thorn shit around you that you have to be careful of. I believe it's called Bramble. And Hercules can knock you straight into it. He's the only one that can. You can actually... I'll show you. You can throw people into it, but it acts as a wall on normal enemies. And then with Hercules here, he's got a few attacks right now that you notice right there. He does a couple normal punches and then slams the ground. He at least does, I think, 3 attacks at once. The main attacks can be parried. He has that one where he punches once, slams the ground. You can't parry that or block it. And then he slams the ground twice. So when it comes to this fight, essentially one thing to try to do is make your focus on Hercules. Just keep hitting him as much as you can. And if he does, of course, knock you into the bramble, you can just break out of it like I did earlier. Now, Hercules is a pain in the ass, especially on chaos mode when... Okay, so yeah, that happens. So yeah, he can call out the guys to hoard you. That's cool. But, yeah. What the fuck was I saying? Shit! Already losing my train of thought. Oh, come here, you son of a bitch. Oh, wait, wrong one. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I already forgot my train of thought. I can't believe myself, man. We gotta do this at least 2 to 3 times, maybe. Well, now we got his helmet off. Now all he has left is his Nemean Cestus. So there's that. Oh, damn. God damn it, what was I saying? Well, sometimes he can block you. I know that. He's, like I was saying, he's a pain on cast mode, though. That's no doubt. He takes forever to fucking kill because essentially what you have to do, if you want to make it to where he doesn't block you as much, then one thing to try to do... I keep hitting L1 and X. One thing to try to keep him from blocking you is hit him once or twice and then just dodge away. That way he can't parry you. Because he can also parry you as well, so be careful of that. If he does that and you hit him, he will parry you. That's the parry, so just be careful of that. If you hit him... If you're going to try to swipe at him like that, and if you're worried about getting blocked, then just hit him at least 3 times, and then he'll do that. So that's a trick for later, a trick for especially on chaos mode for you guys. But I will do a guide of that in the future, whenever I get around to this game. Which, of course, comes after Chain of Olympus. So That's not mobile, at least. I should be parrying that, actually, but I'm not. Granted, you can just use the Rage of Sparta and just fuck him up that way if you really wanted to. I mean, because, again, this is normal, so there's really nothing that I'm losing out of it. Now, he does this at least a couple times, I think. There you go. Do a nice little gut punch. Stab him in the arm. Break off one of the cestus, and then whack his ass. Okay, there. God. I was afraid I fucked that up. But now, we get a new weapon in this game. That's right, folks. The Nemean Cestus itself. So just go ahead and go to town on Hercules. He can throw you to the side here. And when he does that, he's going to pick up some of that and throw it at you. So be careful of that. You can't... There are a few attacks that you can block, but he does... He's got 2 grab attacks that I know of. That's one of them. At least I think there's 2. You can parry that. Knock him right back on his ass. He does dodge you sometimes, so... Watch your ass. Just keep pressing square, and then eventually you'll just hit him. That's essentially how that works out. And yeah, nothing really much about this fight besides that. Maybe there's not a second grab attack. That might be it then. Well, I mean, if you count that as a grab, but that's not really much of a grab then. Also, what's up with this like yellow light underneath that bramble over there? Oh. Someone's gonna come and be like, "That's not fucking right. This is bramble, stupid." Alright, then what is it, smartass? I don't fucking know anything. Told you guys this, but nobody listens. They act like I should know everything. I just know how to beat these games. That's it. That's all I know about life. Also, the Nemean Cestus only has like a basic square combo. I could show you guys what the triangle combo does. Oh, there it is. There's the second grab attack I was talking about. He finally did it. So triangle can only be done twice for right now. Let me show you guys what air does. That's air square. Only can do it twice. This is triangle and air. You just essentially knock him back down. L1 circle, which we can't really do much with right now because we're in a boss fight. So yeah, we don't really have any enemies to show off with. Okay, why do I keep seeing circle pop up? There we go. Alright, this is pretty much going to be the end of Hercules. This is when you know you're pretty much done. But we still have quick time events to worry about. But first, we have to get back up here. And then after that, we can go finish off Hercules. But be careful, there will be a quick time event that does come up rather soon. I think it's square or circle. No, X. Okay. So it is random then. That one's square, that one's circle. Which actually, I think the quick time events work with Kratos' motion, like X to jump, square for left, and circle for right punch. That would make a lot of sense. But here you go, just essentially just bash in Hercules' face, which is actually pretty cool, just looking at bashed him like that. Yeah, 19 hits, and then Hercules is dead. But before you take off, you can do this at any time that you're around this area. Before you go too far, there is one thing we have to get, and that is a godly possession, so... Which will be Hercules' thingamabobber. Well, first we have the Nemean Cestus, so there's that. Which I'll be using that a lot more. That's probably like the second most used weapon I use in this game. Well, one, because of, you know, the enemies with shields and what have you. But there's also that, and it's just a good-ass weapon. There's Hercules' face. Yeah, look at that, damn, right? There you go, there's Hercules. This is the evade with it, you know, doing the square attack can work, but it's very strange. And then I think we don't have anything else with it, no. Besides the L1 circle, but that's about it. And the magic, of course, I could show that off. This is what L1 circle does. It brings them toward you and then it bashes them like that. Did that ever show up with the Hades? Claws of Hades one does? Well, here's L1, or not L1X. Oh yeah, I can't switch just yet. I'll do that in a second. It is also technically air okay, but you land right back on the ground and you do it there, so. There's that. What we gotta do now is just basically bash through these guys and we'll fight some shield guys in a second. Deal with them. We have one more weapon to go. And in my opinion, it's probably it's my least favorite weapon of the game. I don't really care for it too much. This weapon is my second favorite. I remember like seeing like the trailers and he got the Nemean Cestus. I'm like, that looks badass. But let me go ahead and show off real fast what square square triangle does. Which is nothing really much. You just do the initial slam. This is what triangle square does. So, you know, it's just... Actually, wait, that is something, isn't it? Yeah, because that's... Well, that's the finishing, yeah. So, you pretty much have the Blades version of triangle, triangle, square, and square, square, triangle. Or the finishing move. You know, the full throttle square combo and then the triangle finisher. So, Valor of Hercules, and then something of Hercules, whatever. So, there's that. Now, we need to break the hell out of here. But yes, any of that crystallite stuff can be broken with the Nemean Cestus. So, that is what that is for. This part always annoys the hell out of me because these assholes make everything harder. Well, okay, hold on. Let me just... Oh, yeah, you can also do that in air, too, which I think I told you guys that. Well, here's that in air. We just go ahead and switch real fast between these, and then we do it on the ground. That's that on the ground. That's that 1X on ground, and this is again. What's L1 circle in air, which is pretty much just the same thing. And then let me show you guys what Hades does once I break this guy's fucking shield. Hades does that. It pulls out these souls that fly around enemies, and I'll show you a spot later on where you can get the 1000 combo trophy for. But you can do it on, I think, normal mode if you wanted. I prefer doing it on a hard mode. That way the enemies have a little bit of, like, more health with it. But that's completely up to you guys. Yeah. We know how to fucking play the game. Alright, there's that. Now, we're done with Hercules. So we are on our way to getting the 4th and final weapon. And that won't come after until we meet up with Hephaestus again. So, yeah, we get to go talk to him again. Don't want to spoil too much about that, but... Oh, look where we're at. We're in Poseidon's chamber. But actually, I should probably end off this episode here before it gets on too long, but I will just essentially continue on myself. But, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time when we play some more God of War 3. And as always, take care, everybody.